hello there, lovely folks of the internet. It's been a while, but we're back. We hope first off you had a wonderful holiday season, but we're back into this, so welcome back to a session. My name is Chris, and I will be your GM for these preceding evenings. Before we get into our whole spiel about all the checkpoints we gotta do before we start the episode, let's first see who we're playing with here. Starting off with Cyrix. Cyrix,
Hi.
who are you?
It's
Who you
been
playing?
forever. Luckily though, while times are changing and the year's almost changing, what isn't changing is the fact that I'm once again playing Caedra, she, her, in this wonderful game where we will be playing basically Peak this episode, if you know the video game. So there we go.
Yes, we're just going to cut straight to peak. But the other lovely person I have to the right of me is Apollo. Apollo, who you playing? And what you doing?
Hello, my name is Apollo. I'll be playing Anki Eleazar. He definitely. They sure. They. He feels like he has the sadness of a they. And the one time I played Peak, I fell through the map, ended up underneath the map, and my friend kept being chased by the Scoutmaster because technically I was still alive, and they kept yelling at me, just kill yourself so that he stops chasing me, and it was wild.
Wonderful, wonderful. And last but not least, me. Hello, my name is Chris, and I will be your GM for these preceding evenings. And I, believe it or not, have not played Peak. I have not. Just hasn't. It's not in my catalog, not in my rotation. But we'll fix that with today's episode, hopefully. But with that in mind, in case you missed those bad boys, content warnings for you. If you type in the chat !CW, you'll find them in the chat here, but I'll read them out for you as well. This episode in particular contains fantasy and gun violence, gore, trauma, fire, blood, grief, severe weather, undead/zombies, romance, and references to sexual entanglements, monsters and monstrosities, references to imperialism, classism, depictions of experimentation, war, and imperialism. And imprisonment. Not double the imperialism, just one imperialism. But with that in mind, the only one imperialism. I can only afford one imperialism.
Buy two, get one free? No.
No, not in this economy. But if any of that does not float your boat, there is a plethora of wonderful content out there for you to enjoy. And if you want to follow me or any of the lovely people that are on and behind the screen, you can type !cast to see where they all are out there in the big wide web. With that in mind, I think it's time we get into our intro here. So we'll be back right so soon here. So we're going to get to that intro, and we'll be back in a hot second. See you soon, folks.
back to 505. Nope.
Too bad we're back. With that, we're back. As the camera begins to pan back on our lovely crew, finding ourselves in that sort of curl overgrown apartment overlooking the entirety of the city. Another day has passed, and to be honest, you don't know if it's morning or night. There's just almost like that light that reflects off the water, off of the large dome that is this place. But as you guys are getting ready, it's been a little bit of your day, so you're not starting off straight off in the morning, but the crew that you found yourself with is all preparing their bags. You see that they have, for the better part of a couple days, gone about scavenging whatever they could for supplies, from food to gear, and also noticing that they are stocking up a little bit more on like warmer clothes, as they kind of have let you know that when you are going towards the exit, it's going to get a hell of a lot colder. So as everybody's packing up, you're still waiting for the sisters to come back. How do we find our Ascendants doing here? What are you guys doing to prepare for this journey?
You first.
I don't think I really need a change of wardrobe or anything, because I feel like the differences in temperature, if they're very extreme, I will feel them. But if they are still manageable for normal people, it would be just the indifference for me, for the body that I now have. Maybe way ago it would have mattered to me. So I think planning ahead, if we get out of here, we could use whatever we could find here in terms of having a little bit of food on us specifically as well. I don't like to depend on the others who are traveling with us. And I think I would offer it as like a kindness if I see them preparing stuff, if I see them getting ready to basically leave the base that they have made for so long. I would probably offer kindness to also carry a bag or something. You know, I can carry quite a lot of stuff. I have the arms for it. And I'd, with a smile, offer that to one of the others, in my own head, thinking this is a way for me to make sure that if we get separated, or if we do just decide to go our own way, we will have a little bit of the stuff with us. I don't think twice about the fact that this might harm the others. You know, if they lose this stuff, it doesn't bother me. I just think about being prepared for the next steps that we need to take. So I would probably be mingled in that. And maybe check up and see if Anki needs anything warmer. I don't know how his body works, and I frankly know very little about him.
I think it's a perfect segue as you're sort of getting everything preparing, panning over to you, Anki. How are you preparing for this trip?
Oh, I'm absolutely not. I think I'm in a corner, not fully curled up in a ball, but I've made my own little cocoon of everything, all the research, everything that I was able to get, and I'm just pouring over it constantly. See, the issue with telling Anki, "Hey, we're about to go to some place where it's cold," is that he's lived in a tower all his life. Apart from the odd times that he's been let out, um, the experience of extreme weather, it is not something that he is familiar with. So, in his mind, he's thinking, "Oh, it's gonna get cold. Maybe I'll roll down my sleeves. Maybe I'll see if I like there's like a spare jacket or a blanket or something." Because I also don't know how seasons work in an in an extraplanar city. So Anki is woefully underprepared. He's looking at everyone like scurrying about, finding like really heavy things, and he's like, "That's just gonna slow you down." He doesn't get why people are putting this much into preparing for extreme weather because he's never even experienced an uncomfortable amount of cold. Because why would you keep the Tower of the Seer an uncomfortable amount of cold? So he's in his research.
Yeah, Caedra, you see that the bookworm is being a bookworm. You see that. You think for somebody who is proclaimed to be this all-knowing and you're assuming highly intelligent person, they don't seem to be quite prepared for the cold. And it's rather more looking into notes on various things that you don't particularly are observant of right now. You just see that he's very ill prepared for at least the weather that they're describing is maybe like equivalent to like Arctic levels of cold.
I'll probably see if either Isabella or Yaman have a spare some kind of sweater, something with sleeves. If one of them has a spare, possibly, I'd go over, ask that, say it's not for me. If you would allow it, I would go back to Anki and I'd hold that out and say, "You better put this on."
How cold do you expect it to get?
Pretty icy cold. So I think you'd better put this on.
Okay. And you see that as you reach out, as you get close, certain pieces of paper, I've been like a couple pieces of paper. Was it a birth cert that had the details of the name for my mother? Was it
Yes, it was a
that come off?
yeah, it's like a paper, like a single document, and also there was the picture of
The
the
photo,
group of
yes.
scientists holding you. So that's pretty much the main
So
information you got.
I think
You want me to roll a perception to see what I catch?
you can if you want. What you definitely see is as you approach, as you get within like my radius, a few pieces of paper get turned over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what's just very clear is that as the second I notice people are coming over, I'm flipping over pieces of paper and like maybe like putting them under something else as we're talking.
Okay. I'll hold out the sweater.
This will be not exactly my size, but thank you. Whose is this? I don't want to. I'm going to stretch it out, and I just want to say sorry to them in advance.
One of the siblings. Are they siblings? Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, I'll apologize later. I'm just gonna squeeze myself into it. Okay. Well, this is it. It's going to be very very cold. I'm okay. I'm gonna roll down my sleeves. I just start to do what little things I can. I just button up my last button on my shirt. All the
I
things
hope
just get nice and snug.
I hope you got everything you need out of all of that. And I kind of gesture with my chin down to all of the papers lying in front of you.
I don't. Yes and no. More questions came up, but maybe a direct. I don't know. I'll. The shoulders come with a breath of not relief, but with a breath of okay. I can't hide things. I just go. I'll share more with you when we're in a better situation. But it's just information.
I hold up a hand.
Oh.
Look, kid, I don't care about whatever you're reading. You can't carry everything with us. It'll burden us.
I'll carry everything.
No, you won't, because in an emergency, I will carry you. And if you are carrying everything, that doesn't help the matter, now does it? So, can't take everything.
How much can I take?
One single book.
Okay. Sure. And I'm just gonna find like a record book for this place, and I'm gonna stuff a handful of papers into it.
Lovely. As you guys are having that conversation, discarding what you don't need, having the bare minimum, but just enough to make this trip, you see Norum kind of come off to the side. We're doing one last plan meeting here, so I assume you should join us.
Yeah, we're ready here. So, faster we leave, the better.
Yeah.
With that, joining over, you are within kind of a circle of what looks like to be a very makeshift model of just pieces of rubble and rock to kind of be the city that he's worked on for maybe quite a bit. You see he's kind of used whatever was like this dinner table as a way of mapping sections of the cities that are safe, unsafe, where you can kind of go, what time. So you see that Norman is very meticulous, and it also kind of shows that he has various knowledge of this place, knows how it works, and is very meticulous from what you can really gather from all the work he's done in categorizing this place. Noram kind of goes, well, to go over, we are headed to the spire. Now, as you can see, it is the largest structure here, but if we were to head in from the city straight to the spire, we would be swarmed by the corrupted, which is not very good. So, the city itself, the spire can go as high as to the exit itself. While many people assume that the city is the only way to get into the spire, there are other ways. And you see he has like this like wooden like straws depicting almost tunnels or maintenance tunnels of some sorts that I think you guys saw a bit when you crashed into this place. You know that it is a dome protecting something on the outside. So you were in those shafts before, so you can see that, okay, that makes sense that these things exist. He points, we'll be taking this maintenance tunnel all the way up to the outer exit. It will get quite cold to the point of Arctic temperatures, as the spire is quite high up. But we will travel along the ice and to a particular spot on the spire, in which then we will have to climb up. But it should make our journey maybe a bit easier than having to deal with any corrupted and all that jazz. We're also leaving the individual that wanted to kill you here, though must once again say that I do not approve of leaving them, but it was a decision made by the group. I believe that is all I have planned to say. So any other questions or concerns we may have before we begin our journey into the depths of the city?
Do we have anything in the way of a map of? And I know that, well, up, but do we have anything in the way of a navigation tool that we can give a couple people in the group just in case there's an emergency and we get separated, so that we know where rendezvous points could be?
Well, we have two maps. I did have the time and the proper parchment to write a suitable map of the area and the way you can go. Tenny has it. You see Tenny kind of with their arm holding what looks like to be a really dirty piece of paper. I'll be carrying this here for us. I did a little scouting back in my day in the Corps, so I should be good. And I also have the map in here, as he sort of points to his head, meticulously cataloged for every which way we could go, and for every possible outcome, in case things, lightly putting it, gets fucked up.
Would I be able to copy the map into a notebook or something, just in case?
Well, and you see that Tenny
If we
opens
have
it
the
up.
time.
It is a complicated ass map. You could
Love that.
try to, you can make a roll here if you want to copy maybe key parts, but you see that this map is very meticulous down to the alleyway. This is very much like Google Maps. If you're like really zoomed in,
All
knowing
right.
like it is like this is the shop. This got shop names, it's got plazas, it's got places. So
This
it
is
is like
what you
a
do,
full-on
artiste.
function.
All right. Can I either real quick Looney Tunes speed copy it, or prodigious mind just memorize it?
I leave it up to you. Either you can try to memorize it, or you can try to write it down. I think if you're trying to memorize it, it probably is gonna be probably history. Is right, and correct me if I'm wrong. If you think this is a better suit to you, I think history for that, because I don't think it's investigation. I don't investigate anything, so I think
fine.
history. You're trying to remember it, and then if you are trying to write it down, probably sleight of hand to try to write it down in a quick fashion, I think.
Okay.
And if you have any tools, if you have, I think calligraphy is one of the tools. I don't think you have that, but if you did, you could use that to your advantage there as well.
Okay, awesome. I think I'm looking at it and I'm gauging it, and I'm saying that's too much for me to write down. I'm just going to try and memorize the important parts. And I'm just going to try to use that very scientific mind of, well, this is a tunnel system. Most systems run in a pattern. Let me try to discern and see if I can find a way to intuit the underlying pattern here. And I'm going to use my shard of creation to add a d6 to this.
Lovely, lovely.
This guy really wants a map.
I really want a map.
That's a good call.
Call me Dora the Explorer. Okay, on the shard of creation d6, I got a 5, and I have a +5 to this, so I'll be rolling with a +10 in total to this check.
Okay, you're starting off good.
That's Lord is good. That's a 19 on the die for a total of 29.
Ooh. All right. So on top of like a main route of where you're going, is there anything specifically you want to copy down as well besides just the main route?
Okay. Let's say main route.
Mm-hmm.
Choke points, the points that I think could be the most like dangerous, or that seem to be noted down as this is where things are most likely to like fall apart. Main route, choke points, exits is also a very important one, and I would like to figure out 1 or 2 spots that could be used as meeting, like emergency meeting points.
Gotcha. For the bonuses of this, you can have advantage on survival checks. And when it comes to navigating where you need to go to the city, or if you need to find a quick place if something was to happen. So you have advantage of survival for navigating the city and the spire itself. Lovely.
I think after
going down,
I think it just looks like me for a minute, for the on the clock minute, not blinking while I'm just looking at this. And you just see my eyes go whoop 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 whoop. And I just say, got it.
You see one of the sisters, the younger one, Yaman, is he having a seizure? You're just like staring at it. He's like, no, he's memorizing.
His eyes are glowing. What the
hell? Copy that. You give it back to Tenny. Is there any other questions, concerns before we make our journey forward?
What are you gonna do with the stuff you're leaving behind?
Just leaving it behind. There's no sense of burning it. That seems like kind of an ass move, to be honest. Somebody else could use it.
Yeah, but also other people could potentially find this and find a faster way to track us.
I have the map. He has the map. She has the map. That's the only regulation. If you would feel comfortable destroying my work that I've done over the accumulation of decades, it's your prerogative, but I find that leaving this for someone may help them find survival or escape. It is hard to live in these conditions without help. I think, me personally, think we should leave this here for someone to use if they are lucky enough to find it.
There isn't anything there isn't anything noted down on the work that he has done that would suggest oh, you need to go to the spire, right?
No, there's nothing that's he's not highlighting areas. It's just a diorama of the city itself that people can go to. But there is no indicator of we are going to the spire for people to follow you.
Okay. I'll glance at it again and I'll say, it's your work, so if you want to leave it, we'll leave it. No, that I think we at least are ready.
Wonderful, wonderful. With that, we should be headed out. And with that, everybody begins to pack their bags. You see Isabella, the older one, kind of goes, I still feel kind of... It's whatever. Let's just go. As you see, they take a quick glance at this person that has tried to kill you before and just kind of begin to walk out towards the exit.
Yeah, I think as everyone starts leaving, I'll make sure to just check that this Renee person is definitely still tied up and there's nothing close to them that could help them cut any ties that would, conveniently be left close to them enough.
Make a perception check if you'd be so kind. Either perception or insight. I'll leave the one of the two to use here.
Okay, I'll do a perception check.
Perception.
A 16.
16. I mean, you notice a couple things. It's very just baby-proofing a room. You notice there's a knife there. There's they could probably use that. So you kind of baby-proof the room a bit of just
I absolutely
they're
do.
putting things to the side. They are gagged via the mouth still and can see and hear, but for the most part they're just gagged and tied at the moment to one of the pillars. They just look at you as you baby-proof this place.
Yeah. I'll baby-proof the room. And I'll
wonderful.
Leave and say, at least you're still alive. You have them to thank for it. And I'll, knowing that they're gagged, just gonna hear and see, I'll leave.
Dope. With that, you all proceed to make your way into the city. This journey is, while to you here may seem short, takes a couple days. As you guys jump off of the rooftop into the depths of the city itself, going further and further into it. You see that you get a little bit more of the destruction of this place as you see more of the bodies, the explosions. You see a little bit more of the violence of this place as scavengers go about trying to grab whatever they can, fighting amongst each other, with you guys stealthing your way in between, making sure you're not seen, you're not heard. As you make your way specifically towards the wall itself, you can do this place like a large dome. You're going towards one of the dome sections itself. with that, you hit a certain section where there is a fire escape and you're all going up it and having to grab somebody's arm that's on the up top. Very much of that video game-esque of press triangle to get up, as you kind of need somebody's help to pull you up at the end of the
Like
fire
Peak?
escape there. Yeah, just like Peak. Yeah, just like Peak. They're helping.
God,
Not
Peak
sponsored. Would be awesome. Not sponsored. But as you're grabbing arms, pulling you up, I think what you see before you probably doesn't affect most of you for you, Anki. As you see that as they pull you up, there seems to be what looks like to be a mural painting of like faded faces. This mural seems to be something of like if whatever happened, or you don't know particularly what event, whether it be city being closed out or whatever explosion happened, but it seems to be like a mural for those who've died. Faded away paint, but you see covered in big red letters over it with these sort of decayed flowers is "Where's the lantern?" like written in like these big red letters, very much graffiti. You think you get affected by that at all as you're sort of getting pulled up?
Wild as hell. Yeah, yeah. if you were climbing a dead tower and there's "Where was Chris? Chris could have saved us." You think you wouldn't be affected? The mural of the people that are dead. Is there any verisimilitude to like real faces? Like, is there any?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's very much of like none that like jump at you of like that's somebody I know. It just must have been people that lived here, worked here, maybe visited here. That didn't necessarily
none
make
of
it
them
out.
have. Do any of them have a resemblance to any of the people in the photo that I took?
No, they're just
Okay.
people.
Yeah, I think I see that. And Anki sees that and just stops moving for a second, and just under his breath, I didn't know you. I didn't know it was needed. I'm sorry. And I don't think Nasi has been a particularly religious. Nope, Jesus, that's not my character's name. I'm getting mixed up with the English language. Anki has not particularly been a very religious character or a very religious person, but I do think that they just start mumbling in their mind the beginnings of what will eventually be a prayer to Nasi, just for the well-being of the souls of these people.
I think of a as you're doing this, everybody's getting up. I think Norum notices this and kind of just pats you on the shoulder and kind of goes, "It's all right. It is a very sad sight to see. Many people tried to coexist in the labyrinth once it was cut off from the mortal plane, but I tend to find that survival brings out the worst in our natures."
Yeah. 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 Just moving forward, 1,000-yard stare, mumbling.
Going through, I think you know this, Caedra, as they look at you and look between you and Anki. Tenny just kind of gives kind of an amused look of kind of looking at you like seriously, of like you're with this person, before they just move off and continue forward. With that, you proceed forward a couple days until finally you guys reach what looks like to be one of these maintenance hatches. As you do, you notice it is very much like this big iron door, almost rusted with running water kind of coming and overgoing it for years and years of erosion. But as you hit this door, you see Norman, even though his gives off somebody of a vibe of like he knows a lot, you wouldn't assume that he's strong, but he's actually quite very strong, as he manages to just by himself turn the wheel as he gives that sort of squeaky sound to it, rusting and then slowly pushing it off. You notice that as he opens the door, you are immediately hit with this very, very foul stench. Not in terms of sewer, but I think if anything, you, Kaija, would know the smell a little bit more intimately. As you can see, it is that of flesh that has rotted for quite some time. It is, as he opens it, this tunnel, but extremely dark, with the only real source of light being what looks like to be this like blinking red light that kind of goes on and off in this place. At this point, Norman kind of goes, "All right, everyone. Once we get into these tunnels, we'll proceed forward. It should be a straight shot. And I would not assume that there are any of the corrupted inside, as it seems this place will close down for quite some time. But be on your toes." Everyone begins to layer up. You guys layering up, or is there anything you're doing before we enter into this tunnel here?
Yeah, I'll begin to layer up, and I'm just gonna make sure that I'm always sticking close to Caedra, and I'm practically bear hugging the little bag that I keep all my documents in.
Lovely, lovely. Caedra?
Yeah, I don't layer up. I do very much so when Norm opens the hatch or the door and we go through. Scent of rotten flesh making me just alert, as in like things have happened down here. I will very much like stiffen up a little bit, and I don't plan on making any conversation. I plan on having all of my senses out and ready to hear sounds that aren't the footsteps of this group of people we're with. Very much aware that the more people we have around us, the more possibility for someone to fuck up and get attention from something. I'm very much aware that we are in a situation and in a place where not a lot of people have been, and that also means that it probably became a safe space for things that don't want to be found or want to be left alone. So I'll keep with Anki, and I will basically walk forward with him just a half a step behind me. Do I still have your like shield thing?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah.
I don't. Anki wouldn't have asked for it back.
Yeah.
Not yet, anyway.
Okay.
There hasn't been anything. Anki knows that it's better with you.
Sure. Yeah. I think when he finishes up putting on extra clothing, I think we'll start moving.
You proceed forward, and as a note, you notice that, yeah, you're not particularly layered up, but you notice this, Anki, since you're a little bit closer to Caedra and very much paying attention to Caedra, like, do not lose them out their sight. You notice that as you enter into this tunnel, getting further in, the humidity begins to drop and that sort of cold air begins to rise, almost like if you were in the tropics and you immediately entered into an AC room, you begin to feel that change. But you notice along various parts of Caedra's skin, especially where the feathers are, begin to almost grow in response, going from that of like tropic birds that are a little bit like shorter and a little bit more thinner, begins to become a little bit more longer and pronounced, and maybe a little bit more fluffier, heavier, as you notice that they begin to adapt to the environment that they're in.
Very cool.
you proceed forward. It is a very tense walk, as even though there's only one way in and one way out, you don't know what's in here to begin with. That red light being the only source of visual awareness. As each walk forward, it is a blink on and a blink off, that you see more, and you hope and you pray that you do not see something that appears. You continue forward and forward and forward until you see before you the exit. How do you know it's the exit? Well, it's quite simple. All the corpses and skeletons reaching for the door handle and trying to open it would assume that this is an exit. As you see what looks like to be an amalgamation of corpses and skeletons, very much look like they were all trying to climb on top of each other to get to opening this door, but never got the chance to.
I think if I see that, I'd stop moving. Because the moment that's visible in the blinking red light, it means that at this specific point, there was a reason why all of these people were not able to reach that door. And I don't want to set a step further without really trying to look around me or look specifically towards the pile of bodies to see what could have been the danger that made sure that these people did not reach that door. If it was an environmental thing, or if they were just unlucky enough to step in here and hurt and they died there, but it seems very convenient.
Perception check for me to be so kind.
Okay. I also briefly checked my aura of vigilance thing, but that's
I think it's passive, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, and it's on a bonus on initiative rolls. Is basically
Gotcha,
what it
gotcha.
is. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Then I'm also aware of that. Perception. And 11.
11. Going through, you check, I think very much like poking some of these corpses just in case of just like if he comes alive. But as you're going through, you see that the lever itself doesn't really budge. And you can see that there's some sort of keyhole, that there was a mechanism that was needed to open this thing, besides just turn the wheel and get out of here. And I think it makes much more clear as Anki, you see Norum kind of go forward, pushes you to the side. Caedra kind of goes, they were killed here because they didn't have the necessary tools. As you see, he pulls what looks like to be a necklace that has a key attached to it, takes it off, and then inserts it, and then as you hear the mechanism unlock.
Has he ever talked about that at all before this moment? That key that he has on?
He's never talked about the key. He hasn't really discussed. He's kind of helped you understand how everybody else got here. You know, the siblings got here because of a experiment accident that happened. They kind of got stranded here. Tenny was outcasted here. He never really has talked about himself. Yeah. He has discussed that he knows a lot and he worked here, but beyond that, he hasn't explained anything much beyond that.
If he pulls a Deus Ex key one more time, he's gonna get a little bit sus.
You're gonna be on my watch list. You're gonna be on my...
Why do you have the key to the death room, sir? What are you doing?
Do you work in the escape room?
Okay. We'll put a pause on that topic because right now it's important that he did indeed open it and that we first get through.
Yes.
You see he And as he begins to open it, you can feel immediately the burst of wind that sort of comes through it. As I think for the first time in your life, Anki, you see snow. As you see these sort of white specks coming through, pushing in. It's beautiful, but there's also a little bit of danger to it because there is this sort of harsh wind. And as this door begins to slowly creak open, you can see that there is a layer of snow very much buried at the bottom of this place. It seems to be very much whatever this place is isn't a city or anything like that. It seems to be just a floor and just the dome continuing in this section here. You can see what looks like to be the shadow or like the soft shadow of the spire itself as it goes forward. But beyond that, you're not able to see much as you're a bit far in the distance. And also, there seems to be a sort of blizzard or sort of harsh snowstorm that's currently going on right now. That sort of is whirling through harsh and probably is the reason why you needed to bottle it up in the first place. As you see Norum kind of put on glasses for him and kind of goes, "We need to move forward. We must make our way to the base of the spire. So keep close. The last thing you want to do is get lost in a storm."
We all move to the place where Norum is standing, and as he proclaims that, I imagine that he will start taking steps to like lead. I will make sure everyone follows. I'll basically step next to him in sync with him and say a little bit louder indeed, because well, I can imagine that the snow indeed and the outside area makes a lot of wind and noise. Convenient key to have.
It is not of convenience, Caedra. It is a reminder.
A pass to run from?
Quite ironic coming from you.
He got your ass. He got your ass.
Difference is, I'm not running. I'll leave that conversation and make sure that Anki is yet again close to me.
I think as you're halfway through, I think he explains to you, with nobody really hearing, because again, it's loud, so it's really only the two of you talking. And he goes, "Does the boy know what you did in your past life?"
Yeah, does the boy know?
Only response he'll get. Let's make sure all of us get up there.
As it proceeds to go forward into the snow. I would like, just for my purposes here, because this is going to be the same order you're climbing up in terms of when you have to climb up and get attacked. Are you going to be in the middle? Are you going to be in the back? Are you going to be towards the front? Where would you want to position you and Anki? You notice that in terms of who's pairing themselves, Tenny can really be with whoever, and the sisters are going to be together. So it's like, depending on where you go is how everybody else will kind of orientate themselves. So where are you positioning yourself? Norman has to be the front because he's just one who knows where you have to go. Where are you go? Where are you going to position yourselves here? And this sort of line and rope up in terms of connecting yourselves.
Okay, with Apollo's reaction, I know I'm not the only one who has a robot Chris for now, but it seems to be better. Okay.
Oh no. Better? Still the same?
Yes, better, I think. Apollo, I wasn't the only one.
No, you
Okay.
weren't the ugly one.
Okay. Yes, better. Okay. So, strategically thinking, of course we can't be the first ones. I don't want to be the one of the last ones, because if someone falls, they'll try to grab the people behind them or below them to try and save themselves. So I do think I'd want, preferably, Norb, of course, to be in the front. Then Tenny can be second, if that is a possibility, and then position the two of us after that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So
good.
where do you want to reiterate real quick? Where are you going to position yourself?
Basically, before the siblings.
Gotcha. So
Behind
I guess
the
so here's my other question. Are you going to let anybody behind you, or do you want to be strictly in the backpack?
No, the siblings can be behind us.
Okay, gotcha. So from my knowledge there, so siblings behind you, I think Tenny then will probably be at the back end of this thing, as they go all the way at the back here, and you guys are kind of in like the upper front, right next to Norum.
Yeah.
With this order, proceed forward, and you find yourself at the base of this spire. Now, you see that you're probably a little bit more up. You can think of this thing as like a really tall skyscraper. As you see, it's made of this obsidian-like material, and as you get to the base, you can see there are like various looking corpses, that purple shard looking creatures. They're not active or anything like that, or they're not actual creatures that will attack you. It's just very much of like Mount Vesuvius-esque. These are like shades or aftermarks of whatever happened around. But the thing that interests you is at the top of the spire, no matter how far up that journey is going to be, you can see there seems to be large chunks kind of floating in the air. And you see that around the area, it's also reactive as well. There are bits of this tower that seem to have come off that, rather than falling straight to the ground, begin to float around this tower and center around this storm, as the storm seems to be a byproduct of whatever has happened at the top of this place. So you can see that this is a place of concentrated magic.
Okay, so yes.
Awesome. Having read what I've read, having done as much research as possible about what we would encounter, do I have any idea of what sort of hazards we might come up against? Getting now a visual that there's clearly some magical gravitational force being created with regards to the floating part. So do I feel like this is a magic of gravity, or that this is like, do I think that see, in my mind now I'm thinking, okay, it could be a gravitational thing, could be a time thing, could be an animation thing. What type of vibe am I able to get from this?
Fantastic. And then what about you, Caedra? Did you have a question that you wanted to assume, or are you just gonna let Anki take the boat here?
No, when you said magical thing, it was clear, because I was questioning like, how are the parts of the building still up there? Is it because of the storm, or is it like, does it seem like a gravitational magic thing? So that's clear.
Fantastic. Arcana check from you, Anki, to see if you can pinpoint exactly what is the hazard of this place, whether it be time or whatever. Let's see.
That is 18.
18. From what you can tell, what is happening here is some sort of time magic. As you see that the pieces that fall and then reverse back into the building, almost like if somebody's trying to keep something together. So that's what you're noticing, that pieces of this fall off and then go back into the building, and then time kind of resumes, falls back again. You can guess this thing is like seconds, not in terms of like it's happening in seconds, but the movement it's doing it in is in seconds, and it takes a couple of minutes before it goes back. So it varies from place to place, but you do notice it's trying to keep something that happened really quickly. It's trying to pause it, or it's trying to like bring it back to normal.
So there's some sort of like localized time loop, and in this, I don't think there's birds here, but is there anything that didn't start in the area of the loop, of that sort of effect? Does anything ever enter that area, and is it subjected to that effect?
Not that you're seeing. You see that it's just a
Ask
loop,
command.
so there's nothing that's has entered. But then again, there's nothing around. You're in a pure ice place. There's no life anywhere. The only thing you could think of is maybe the snow is not. It's not in terms of the snow isn't part of the loop. The snow seems to be a result of the loop. So that's what you're seeing here. That's
Time
probably why it's so
cycle.
ravenous and going on here. So
Yeah.
but you can assume that the source of this loop is probably at the top.
I'm just gonna turn to Norum, and I'm just going to shout, but I won't shout because microphones. What happened? Do you know what caused the time looping? All the debris seems to be caught in some sort of temporal stasis or loop. It's not. It only gets to a certain point before it returns and it stops falling. What
Well,
did that?
the observer, the grand observer, essentially the person that ruled this place was working on something, but to what end I have no idea.
So that's okay. Well, if it's time magic, that would explain zombification in a way, in a bad way. Will that happen to us if we get close?
I do not think so. I think we can
How
enter
confident are
into
we talking? I've lost my
not
Eastern
my
European.
area of expertise, but it's better than just sitting here and freezing our asses off.
All right. I'm gonna put one of my sleeves in. I'm just gonna grab one of my sleeves with my teeth so that I can pull my arm in, and I'm just gonna start writing little notes as we're moving.
Caedra, I think you see this, and I was put like, "Are you fucking serious right now?" kind of vibe. He's writing on his sleeves at the moment. But with that, Norum goes, "I will proceed first, and then you, Caedra, will follow second. Then the sisters, then Tenny. Keep close and try not to touch anything. Well, I think we are maybe immune to the loop in some sense. I think if we touch certain things, it may become part of it."
Just gonna turn to Caedra.
No touching.
Oh, no. Just gonna turn to you. He said you second. Does that include me as well, or are we being
Yes.
separated? Okay.
For someone smart, you're asking dumb questions.
Well, he specified everybody else except for where I was in the line, so I just wanted to know.
Yes, I'm sure it was a hiccup. Nothing more.
Okay, I thought we were friends.
Is there a possibility? Because at this point we will climb, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a possibility to actually tie a rope between Anki and me?
Yeah, I mean, you're connected, so like the way, like it's almost like rock climbing in a sense. You're connected via each other's cables, so it's very much of like Anki, whoever's going to be first, and the person second is tied. So you're all one rope that's tied together.
I don't like that.
You can always choose. You specifically can choose to forgo it because you can fly and climb, so you don't necessarily have to worry about being attached to anything. Anki, on the hand, is going to have to probably get attached to the rope because he's not very athletic.
If I fall, I'll just have a crisis moment and manifest the wings that I have. It's fine.
But we don't know that, so.
But we don't know that.
Okay, but it would mean that, for example, if Anki were to fall, the entire rope that holds all the other people, he would be attached to that. So.
Yeah, he would be heavier.
What?
Well, in terms of like, depending, are you going to be attached first and then Anki, or Anki's attached first and then you?
I just want to make sure that if one of the other people falls, that Anki doesn't fall with them. If
He won't necessarily. Yeah, the whole point of the rope is it gives a sort of security, so he won't immediately just fall if somebody starts falling. But he will kind of have to like be stationary. It seems like he's gonna have to use some strength. So he's okay if that's what Kydra's concern is.
sure, if I
He'll be okay for a little bit.
Yes, so I will look at the mechanism of the way that he is attached to this rope as well to know if worse comes to worse, how can I quickly detach him without having to carry all of the others. And if I know that, I will leave him attached to it. However, I will indeed not attach myself to this entire rope.
Gotcha. So with that, not attaching yourself to the rope, but making sure that he is being next to him, you guys begin to make the climb upward. If you'd be so kind for me, will you two please roll me survival checks as you begin the climb upward?
Does my advantage from the earlier scene carry over here?
Oh, I will let you have it, yes.
Yay! Thank you, O merciful Lord of this world.
Thank you, God!
Natural 2024.
Ooh, look at you, you little. I don't need to run. You're free basing it. Free basing with wings. Seems a little bit cheating, but.
18.
18.
You know what sounds like cheating? Having the key to a door that no one else does. That sounds like cheating, so I don't know.
Yeah, we're on to your NPCs.
Okay. All right. Calm down, you two. Okay. With that, you begin to make your way up. It is, I think, maybe a little bit too slow for your comfort, Kaitra, especially that you've kind of done things by yourself for a very long time. So you're, I think, very much used to your own speed, but with these people, they have to be careful. So begrudgingly, you know exactly what to do, where to do it, and kind of help some people out as if their footing's a little bit off or if their climbing isn't too great. You're able to make that way up. And Anki seems to, you would think you would probably have to teach him a little bit more, but he seems to have somewhat of a grasp of what to hold and not to hold. As you see, there are pieces of rock, Anki, that I think, especially with you studying Arcana of this place, you can kind of see what parts don't touch. You shouldn't touch because you see they fall off and then come back. So you guys, this first third of this, make pretty good work. If you be so kind, let's do another round. If you be so kind for me. We're gonna do 3 here, so we need to get 3 successes.
That's the same roll.
Same roll. 18. Look at you go.
Let's go.
I'm curious, what are you adding to your survival? Because I know this probably isn't a strong suit of yours.
That's +3.
Oh, wow.
Okay, it's decent.
An 18 plus 4, so 22.
Look at that. Fantastic. With that, you hit a moment where it's a bit of concern. As you see that almost a wall comes off, as you're probably getting about maybe a little bit closer to the midway point. That's probably where you're going to have to rest. It's like maybe the 3rd, 4th, or about upper midway is where you guys have to rest for the day. But you make your way to one section. You notice that, Anki, that this section, a part of the wall crumbles and then reforms, which is particularly troublesome as there's not a lot of room to climb. But using your smarts, and especially with Kydra's kind of using their wings to kind of survey the area just slightly a bit, you're able to find a way to make your climb a little bit easier without having to worry about the sort of time loop interrupting you as you make your way two out of 3 ways up there. So you need one more success here. So let's see what you guys get. So roll survival for me again. See if you get lucky.
That's funny.
Fucking wow.
Oh, wow. We're not going to roll good in combat after this.
You're just gonna
Don't
get
say
wailed
that.
on.
We're only rolling 20s today.
No, I'm not rolling a 20. It's a 10.
10. With that, in this instance, you're climbing
I
up.
rolled a nat 20 in the first one. Chill out.
Partial success here.
I can't do it.
For you, Kaitra, believe it or not, you're in a bit of trouble. As you're climbing up, doing your thing, Kaitra, I think you yourself land onto one of the nearby chunks, and immediately you didn't notice this at all, especially you, Anki, as you were kind of very much doing your thing and controlling. But you notice at the last minute, you're able to push Caedra off to the side as you see one of the chunks that you were on Caedra falls off into the time loop as you find yourself kind of stuck in this whirlwind for a bit. So in this moment, everybody else is fine climbing up, but Caedra, you are kind of stuck in the storm for a hot second. What are you going to do in this instance, Anki? First off, as you see that Caedra's stuck in sort of the vortex of this thing.
Leave me there. Keep climbing.
Keep climbing! I got him!
Don't look back. I'm really going to do the math here. I'm going to turn my Shard of Creation into a rope.
Yep.
And I'm just going to see if I can do the math of how quick can I just sort of... Not a rope. Grappling hook. Grappling hook. And I'm just going to try... see if I can hook it onto, like, some item of clothing. Because even if it gets stopped in the little time loop, it'll still be hooked on. I just need to time it so it actually hooks on, and then from outside the time loop, I can try pull Caedra out of there.
Okay. Two-parter here. First part is tying this knot in terms of getting this grapple hook on. The next part is trying to pull, or at least try to, in strength base. So survival check you can do here again. I'm going to say just regular, not exactly advantage, because you're not climbing in this instance. We'll make a regular survival check.
Okay. That's a solid 15.
15. You're able to... You see the wall forms back. You only have a couple seconds, but with that, you're able to form this sort of knot or tie it onto it so that you can at least, try to fish catch Caedra here. You see the loop resumes. And now in this instance, Caedra, you're able to grab onto this if you want to. So I leave it up to you if you're going to grab on. You see Anki's kind of tossed out of life, almost like a tether for you to grab onto. So you don't have to roll anything if you're going to grab onto that.
Sure. I'll grab onto it. I don't think I was panicking in any way. I think this is a moment of, well, shit. That's
the plan goes wrong. Yeah, I was expecting this to happen.
Well, shit. I didn't expect that, and I think I don't think I'm quick to panic. I think it's more of a trying to surveil what is happening around, and if he were to throw this towards me, I don't see any problem with taking it.
Lovely, lovely. In that instance, you see Caedra catches on. Now, the hard part is the athletics, as you're going to have to, if you're trying to pull them back, if that's what I'm getting from you, Anki.
Yeah, just trying to move them, just trying to maneuver them to a position where they're more free to move and to maneuver on their own.
Give me a flash check if you'd be so kind.
Okay, well, my plus athletics is a big fat 0.
Well,
that being said, the rope is made out of my Shard of Creation, so I'm going to use another charge of that to give me a d6 on this. Okay, so we're adding 4 to whatever this is.
Dope. That's pretty good.
So that's a total of 10.
10. With that not complete failure, you're able to pull Caedra slowly into and out of the vortex of sort of the winds that are going on here. But this instance, Caedra, you're getting pulled in, you're getting saved, but you notice that a piece of debris is coming in your way. I need a dex check, dexterity saving throw from you, if you'd be so kind, to see if you avoid any damage here.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's try this. That is a 12.
12. Lovely. I will say... Okay. You'll take half at least here. You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage here. As you notice that you are able to dodge for the most part, but just a lucky piece of debris manages to hit you on your head as you start bleeding a little bit, but you're able to get pulled back in as Anki, you managed to get Caedra back onto the rocks there.
Are you okay?
Smart thinking, kid.
Well, yeah, I'm a genius inventor. Okay, yeah, I know
Sure,
survivalism.
that's
I
what
know
they say you
survivalism.
are.
I've been in the snow before.
If there's no more shenanigans, as you see Norum kind of go, let's continue, please.
Sure thing.
And with that, you do your 3 successes and you get your way to the halfway point. At this point, I think Caedra, you just gets to stop the bleeding on your head because you do notice it's going a bit into your eye, which will probably cause problems. But for the most part, the hard part of the climbing is over, so no more checks are going to be needed to get to the top. At this point, it's just simply walking up the stairs. You can hear that it's a little bit louder up here as the sounds of magic and the thunderstorm and the snow whirling about really gives this aura to it of harshness and sort of loudness. But you're able to get it at least muffled from the nearby sort of tents you've made up here. Everyone here is catching their breath, getting ready for their last trek. What are you guys two doing here as you are resting up, at least for the night? And get ready to just, almost in a sense, to just walk up the stairs to wherever this origin point is here. Hopefully the exit.
Would you, on your own, start talking about the top of the tower stuff? Yeah.
Hit me with that question again because I didn't hear it properly.
Would you start talking about the things you analyzed or deducted from the top of the tower that you saw?
Yeah, now that we have a couple minutes, now that we have some time to ourselves, I would sit down and I would start transferring the notes from the inside of my sleeve to the notebook properly. So you would be able to see me. Anki is one of those people that half mumbles to himself while he's writing things down. So you'd be able to hear what I'm talking about. I'm writing about the possibilities that I thought they were, and then I'm writing about what Norum said, and then I'm writing about my observations. I think there's a big section that I'm writing about the interaction that we had when you got caught in it for a little bit. So that was actually really insightful for Anki to discern the effects that are going on here. So that's what I'm writing about.
Okay. I'll stand over you as you are writing that, kind of at your back.
Would you describe the experience of being caught in the magical temporal storm as one of pushing and pulling, or one of stasis?
Constantly being in motion. Why?
Okay.
Would you care to write that down? Do you plan to be here again?
Well, no, but it's important to know what we're going up against. See, if it was an effect of stasis, we would then be able to assume that the more powerful version of that would be that whatever happened stopped time in the area, stopped the passage of time. But if you were constantly in motion, that means that you were still subject to the forces of gravity and wind, but it was the temporal effect was pushing you or pulling you back to your original state, to your first position. So that's the difference between an effect that says stop right where you are or go back to where you were.
And I'm assuming you need to write this down to come to that conclusion and not just think about it.
I think about a lot of things. Writing things down helps clarify, categorize, and in a moment of panic, if I have the pieces in front of me, it'll be easier to figure out.
You've been all on your own, haven't you?
Well, I had the seer, I had the Elara, and then the wind.
Yeah, sure. You
Yeah.
clearly had a lot of time on your own if you think about things that much.
Well, I used to have a friend. It was this little tiny prototype, small little automaton that I made. But then the seer told me that I was projecting too many emotions onto it, and I was told that I needed to come back down to solid ground and focus on real work and not fake friends. So I stopped that.
Seer doesn't sound like such a dumb man.
He saw something in me and he just wanted to push me to get there, I guess. Did you ever have any childhood friends? Did you have a childhood?
Wait, was that first question? Did you ever have any childhood friends?
Yes. And then, comma, did you have a childhood?
Sure, everyone was small ones. Otherwise, you wouldn't become big. Logical.
Well, yeah, but I think I'm talking about the experience of childhood as a period in your life of play and not war, because that seems to be your whole deal now. I don't mean that in a judging way. I mean, my whole life has been study, and you fucking look at me.
What I had or didn't have doesn't have any effect on us getting to our goal. You knowing that about me doesn't change anything.
Okay, sorry. You asked about me, so I just wanted to be polite and ask about you.
Do you want to do an insight check
Yeah.
to see if you could read something on our face
Hell
that she
yeah.
isn't telling? Yeah. I'll do like a deception thing.
You don't have to. You really don't have
Damn.
to.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
All right, total of 8 from a 2 on the die.
That's an 11. So
roll under an 8. God.
that's an 11. All right. Yeah, you probably haven't been with her long enough yet to study the way she reacts to things, so you wouldn't get any more out of that.
Okay. Well, I know that you said that. I know that you just said it doesn't matter, but I kind of have. What was the deal with Renee? I know she wanted to kill you, but that felt personal.
I don't know them. But if someone wants to kill me, I'd like to kill them first.
But wouldn't you be curious as to why?
The end result is there. Why does the reason matter?
I think the reason matters more than the end result.
Not if I want to keep my life.
Well, this is assuming that we're operating in a future in which we're able to defeat and subdue them, which is the only future, I think. I mean, look at you. But I think it still would. If it was a matter of a personal vendetta, I read a lot of books where someone kills the father and then the son comes up and grows up with a vow of vengeance, or a blood debt that is not paid gets passed down to the next person willing to take up the job. Aren't you curious that if it was something personal that hasn't been passed on to somebody else?
Clearly have too much time to reading stories as well.
Maybe there's a bounty on your head. That would be so cool.
Maybe it's stupid of other people to let emotions run their actions. I don't care what their reasons are. Matter of fact is, if someone comes after me to take my life, only thing that matters is that I stop them. And in the end, they will be dead.
Nodding. You're very intense. Both face lie coming up.
You should have
heard...
better survival instinct if you want to go through to the future.
I'm just asking because I heard the sisters say that maybe it was a scorned lover thing, but I didn't want to know if it was.
And I think at that instance, as you say that, almost like appearing out of the shadows, that even, I think because you were too distracted by this conversation with Anki, you see Tenny appear and going over to Anki. Well, kid, you have no idea who you're going with here. This is the famous commander of quite a few legions.
Eyebrows raised at Caedra. A few?
We have a long history, but I don't think necessarily it's important right now, as I would absolutely love to run something by the both of you, if you'd be so kind.
I'll give you a moment to try and make your life worth something.
As always, I learned from the best. I don't know if you remember me. I was part of the scouting regiment, as you say, sit over next to Anki. And, well, let's just say we did more than scouting. You and I both know what it takes to survive, and these people, well, honestly, better use of cannon fodder than actual any useful skills. They're most likely going to get us all killed. But you, and especially after the events that the boy did, seem to be competent in your skills of survival. So, I propose we do it like old times. I follow your lead, and the three of us try to find the exit and the key out of here, leaving behind the cannon fodder to try to catch up. Logistically and strategically, it makes sense. I'm extremely skilled and fast, so I would have the adept hands to try to find whatever we're trying to look for. The kid's got the smarts, so he could decipher whatever nerd shit is up there. And you, Commander, have that presence about you and can easily demolish any obstacle in our way. We don't need the others. Plus, I mean, hell, Norum isn't exactly a trustworthy person. I mean, the key thing, even I didn't know about that. And I am very meticulous of who I join myself with. Just makes sense.
Regardless of the trustworthiness of Norum, your argument is still flawed. Because you said that Norum was part of the cannon fodder, and Norum was the person with the key. So far, you're the one who hasn't really standout contributed anything to this ascent. So why do you want to split? Why do you want us to split off with you?
I like to surround myself with people that are better than me. My mother once told me, if you want to get anywhere in life, you surround yourself with successful people. You succeeded in saving Caedra, and Caedra has been very successful in their life. Though they took a bit of a downturn, that does not mean that one folly me outshines the rest of what they've done. And if you're talking about contributions, I haven't told everyone about who Caedra really is. And if I did, let's just say this expedition would get quite messy.
You just see Anki writing in his notebook, and just says, "Okay, so in the course of that, in those few sentences, you went through an appeal to flattery, guilt tripping, and an implicit threat."
You're catching on, kid. Those are the tentative language points of the Empire. Isn't that right, Caedra?
I'm going to do something here that is, in my mind right now, the only logical possible solution to this.
It is.
I would like to try and cast Hold on him.
Fantastic. What do they got to roll here for
Let me
my
check.
knowledge? Casting Hold, a hell of a move. That's your go-to. Hold.
it's such a good one if it worked.
Halt! You violated the law.
They will roll a wisdom saving throw.
All right, let's see.
And I think that's 16. That they wait, is it that wait?
I'm gonna check real quick. I'm gonna make a roll for them. Oh shit!
Yeah.
That is wild. If they save this, let me double check.
Oh no, it's 13, I think.
13, 15. I will let you know they have a +0. They roll a 19 on the die.
Oh my god! Wow.
Hey.
Okay.
Casting Hold.
Yes.
You see that as you cast it, whether it be sheer luck or whether it be because of the magical the magic is a little bit disruptive around here, so whether it be luck, whether their own strong will, or the area itself, you notice that they go, "Now, Commander, why would you want to do?"
I don't give them a second to talk more as I notice that it indeed doesn't hold. I forget, and I'm reminded that magic doesn't work the same way here as it did before, because that's what happened the first time, and I should have remembered. So the second he starts being smug and starts uttering about how it didn't work, I would like to just straight up rush him. Yes.
Fantastic. They're gonna get a shot here. You're gonna see that they are going with you. They're not necessarily going for like anything lethal. They seem to just be almost like very martial artsy, trying to either push you out the way. So they're going to try to put you in a hold here. You make a dexterity saving throw. Be so kind.
Yes, I will.
Try to beat it 18.
Oh my god.
Hey, they said they were part of your regiment. Your regiment don't take no weak folk.
Yeah. No, I meet it. So I don't know. I have an 18, so
You
I
meet
don't
it?
know. Yeah.
I think you're good then, because I think it's meets it, beats it. So with that, they try to dodge out the way, but you come in, football tackle them onto the ground, and you go, "Commander, please. You're first off, you're tickling me in that instance, so can you just stop and just talk things out rather than you going and then giving into your bloodlust like you always do?" What I'm saying makes sense.
No, as I am on top of them physically, unless Anki reacts in that moment, which I will give an opportunity for.
My reaction is panicked. On an argument basis, it still doesn't make sense as an argument.
There's another element to this. You have to be fucking quiet because everybody else is in this place. So you see that the sounds, everything's providing cover, but you're like at this point like, "Oh shit, what are you doing in this instance, Caedra?" As this silently is happening.
No,
Take the wheel, man. Do you, bro?
I think that this person is one. The moment I notice him, I knew that he was an exiled soldier. Despite my own circumstances, I still have the mindset of a commander. And if I see an exiled soldier, even if I am also exiled, I don't tolerate that. They didn't do their job well. I've been keeping quiet all this time because they didn't do anything out of order, so I just let them be in the group. But I always had it in the back of my head that they were exiled soldier and they were useless. They made a difficult and stupid decision to come up to us and to try and get us to run away with them. Because in a logical sense, and I'm surprised that Anki said it before I could, which I definitely, in that conversation, I looked at him. Norum had the key. These people serve for multiple purposes. It's either as cannon fodder, because in a fight, if there's more bodies, it's more targets. But also, this Norum guy clearly knows more about the circumstances than any of us do. So it's useful to have around. And then the soldier also just had to go on from asking to charming to threatening to not having anything beneficial to offer us and instead wanting the two of us, to join him. So this person is a liability. And he was going to screw all of the others over as well. I'm not going to give him a chance to say any of that, to lie about any of that either. If I were to throw him off the building, that would give him time to speak, to scream, to make noise. So instead, as I sit on top of him and he starts talking about my bloodlust, Anki is confused. I would very much like to raise my battle axe or my mace, and would very much like to just try and put it in his head.
No roll needed, as you manage to succeed in that sense. Do you just smash their head in, or do you just like slit their throat, or how do you just end the life of this person?
I will immediately aim at the point where he would make noise if he could, so I just smash his head in, specifically aimed at his mouth.
As you just feel the blood spatter, some of it goes onto you, Anki, as you feel just a go across. And with the body, do you leave it there or do you just toss it over?
I leave it there. I raise myself up from it, dislodge my mace from his mouth, and I'll turn around, walk towards Anki. I'll push the mace into his hands. If he isn't taking... What?
I take a step back. You smash someone's face in and you're walking through. I took a step back.
Okay. If you keep taking steps back, I will keep walking in your direction, but with the mace out. As in, like, holding out, like, handle first.
As in, like, take this?
Yeah.
Take a step back, but then I do take it.
Okay, you take it. I make sure your hands are tightly on it. I say, keep watching here. I'm going to talk to Norum and tell him about something who is going to stab him in the back. Make sure there's no further issues.
I'm going to do an insight check to see if you're about to go murder them all.
Fun. Fun, yeah.
This is what I'm talking about.
19.
19 on the die plus 6 insight for 25.
Yes. No. I don't read an intention to go murder them. When I say I'm going to go talk to Norum and tell him someone's going to stab him in the back and make sure there are no further issues. That it sounds like that sentence is entirely legitimate.
I look at you. Look at the mace. Look
And
at
as you do, I clock that and I say, if I was going to kill someone, kid, I would take my mace with me.
Don't hurt them. And when
We
you
need
come
them.
back, we have to talk.
We need them, kid. I'm not going to hurt someone useful.
I think that is a lovely spot to take our break here, as that was wild. With that, we need to take a break here because we've hit the halfway point. So use a baño, grab yourself a snack, and we'll be right back. We'll see you in a second, folks.
What the fuck? Mom.
Welcome back. As you can see, that was a wild first half of the episode, but with that, let's get back into it. As Caedra, you're going towards Norum. You see the sisters are there as well. They're just eating around the campfire, so nothing, crazy is happening out there. You did just commit what you thought was the right thing. So how are you going to approach? How do you approach the group here?
I think I will walk up, and I will specifically walk up to Norm, and I'll, at a low tone, say a quick word between the two of us.
Very well. If he gets up, is there something burning you, Caedra?
I think in a conversational way, I will lead them a few steps away from the two siblings, and I'll turn to him, look him in the eyes. No, but someone was going to backstab you and leave you behind. Probably try to take your possessions, but who knows? I want
If
to. I want you to know I'm here talking to you because, well, clearly you also know a lot of things about the surroundings and you like to keep some things hidden. I can't blame you for that, and I won't. You can keep whatever you want hidden. Clearly, you want to get to the top of the tower. If you also actually want to get out or not, or if you have something up there waiting for you, it does not matter to me. I know that you're useful to get to the top. You know that if there's something unexpected waiting at the top, I can also be useful. With that understanding, Tenny was going to backstab you and asked me and wait, what was your name again?
Anki?
What was your name again? Oh, we didn't
Do you
use
want to ask me
Anki.
questions while I'm filling my,
We
my
didn't
mouth
use
with
Just-
chocolate?
Anki.
Just insert
Anki.
name. I think it was
What's
Nasi.
it? Yeah, Nasi, right? You used
Yeah.
Nasi. Yeah.
Oh yeah, my fake name, Nasi.
And he asked me and Nasi to just go with him and also leave you behind. I didn't take kindly to that. And so I took care of them.
You see, he
I'm
stops.
not going to touch you or the siblings. And we'll just accompany each other up there. And once we get out, we'll be out of each other's hair. No need to share information. No need to do anything.
Caedra, what did you do?
Oh, I
For
killed
Teddy?
them.
Now, for my preference, did you kill them? Did they try to attack you before you committed this act, or did you take it upon yourself to eliminate this problem?
I like to act before the other one can act.
You see, he puts his hands to the side. I appreciate that you saved us from someone who did not care for us, but I do not appreciate the apathy you have for taking someone's life. There are other ways you could have dealt with that problem, but violence is the only thing you seem to be capable of.
Without people like me in the world, people like you wouldn't survive. Let's keep it that we're both needed in this world and not judge each other's actions or inaction. Because that could go both ways. And I'm not here to philosophize. Problem is dealt with. And we both know what we can offer each other. That's the only thing that's important here.
You see, he stares you in your eyes, not in terms of like a sternness or anything like that, but almost retrospective and almost investigative. Looking and whispers, "Who hurt you? Really? There's something wrong." And he doesn't really he just motions around your face. He's in there. That you commit such horrible acts without considering any other way of doing things. You
Sometimes
may
people
say people like you are necessary for the world, but the reason why the world is in its fucked up state is because of people like you. It's a two-way street. I will tell the others. What are you going to do with Tenny's body? We just leave it there? Is that just another fucking accomplishment? Or are you going to be at least respectful of the body?
Oh, you can do with the water whatever you want. I can throw it off the tower. It doesn't matter to me.
Next time, before you decide to go murder people, how about you consult the group? If we're traveling together, we need trust.
If I need advice, I will surely come ask for it. But I think we won't push boundaries that much now, would we?
You see, he goes off towards Tenny's body, walking past you, Anki, but just very respectful, and with that proceeds to think for a moment. And just tosses Tenny's body off the edge. You see Norum looks almost sad in this instance. Looks to you, Anki. You need to be careful. I don't know what your relationship to that person is, but clearly they have demonstrated a darker side of them.
Where did you get that key?
I used to work here, in this very tower where you stand. I was very much like you. I was simply a person who beloved books and the stories they tell. I thought I could be a hero, but let's just say I never got that chance.
So many people have lied to me in the last few days. Please don't add to that count.
I will do my best, Nussie. Try to refrain your friend from killing anyone else. As you see, he proceeds to.
I can't stop her. I can't stop them.
I said try. You don't have to succeed.
Okay. No. I'll practice.
See, goes off, and just for the same thing is the sake of expediency, we start off the next day. The sisters get word of what happened. They are a little bit split. You see, the younger Yaman isn't really cool with the idea of that happening, but the older sister, Isabella, kind of agrees wholeheartedly with Caedra's actions if they were trying to harm you. But with that, you proceed to go. Yeah, approved of action. They will remember this. You walk up the stairs, up to the peak of this place. And soon this sort of storm and energy and the raving sounds that you've been hearing for all this time begins to subside. As you find yourself maybe in what is the eye of the storm or the calmest point, and which usually is the epicenter of the power. As you see nothing but clear blue skies and soft snow falling on your faces. You're in what looks like to be a sort of half exploded like dome like lab, as you see that it is suspended in time. Your theory was correct, Anki, as you see that there are rocks that are floating off, very much of like half of the lab is exploded outward, as you see these pieces of rock floating a bit of every which way in place as they try to reform but end up going back out. You see there's the occasional flashing of light that sort of shines from what looks like to be the center of this lab, as there's this almost like, you know how like back in the ancient sort of astrology mechanics, as you see like these varying orbs around what looks like to be a device that's exploded but very much does not move. Even if everything is moving around here, this explosion that happens is suspended in time. But further back, you see that there's someone sitting in a chair. You see that this person is almost molded into the bronze color of this chair, almost like they're part of it, as there's plant overgrowth on them. There's pieces of decay, but also flesh, as sort of time preserves some while the rest kind of decays from however long this happens. You notice that they have these sort of almost baby antler-like ears. Their face is distorted and scarred. Their tails is whipped behind them. But the thing that you notice most is that their hands do not move. It's very much their hands on this what looks like to be staff that is emanating this power, that is emanating whatever spell that's going on here. And soon you notice these sort of bright, almost like neon white eyes that slowly stare towards you. All of you.
The
really.
collective view? Thank
The
you.
collective view. please no.
You plural? Please don't let it be you singular.
Was it we what? You French? We?
No, toi. All right. I standard magical surveillance. Can I pop my magic detection goggles on and just see if I can? I mean, very clearly there's an epicenter of the effect and everything, but I just want to see, is there anything I'm not seeing, or can I get any more detail on how to best navigate this?
Yeah, with that, I think the thing that's on your mind is the key. I mean, you need that thing, the bad boy, first and foremost. You look upon his person, doesn't have it. He doesn't seem to have the key. And also looking for the exit, you're guessing it was on this exploded side of the room. So you can only assume that the key and maybe the exit are probably somewhere above where this explosion, sort of the floating pieces are. Somewhere in that rabble, very much of like an asteroid belt kind of level of debris that's up there. It's probably where those two items are.
As we enter into this room, see the surroundings, see this person on the chair, not exactly expecting to see a person here, I will immediately train my eyes on Norm, watch where his gaze goes, watch what his reaction is. And I feel like my whole body tenses up, where in the beginning of a sprint, where everyone gets ready at their places for the shot to go off, I feel like that is very subtly what I do as I focus on Norum and see what his actions are.
You see, he proceeds forward. It has been some time, Grand Observer. And you see, almost like the mouth hasn't moved in centuries. It begins to dust forming, almost time reversing to a form in which this jaw was usable. It has been... how long? Couple decades. Nah. Time is different here. What do you want? We wish for the exit. We no longer wish to stay within your section of the city. Who are they? They seem different from the scholars. As he pretty much points to the majority of you, the sisters, and you two. You'd make yourself known to the Grand Observer. See, the sisters immediately gonna go up, introduce themselves, then leaving room for you guys.
Is there any difference in... I'm just going to ask, when the sisters introduce themselves, is there any difference in his countenance or behavior upon hearing new names?
There is distrust, but mostly he gives off the vibe of kind of like an asshole professor. It's like someone who knows better than everyone else. As he seems to be studying, understanding what he possibly can without trying to move. And then Caedra, you were going to say something.
Yeah, is there a specific name again for the level that Anki was on? The upper city?
Guardianship section. So
Guardianship
that's pretty much
section. Okay.
Yep.
Me and this one here from the guardianship section. Found our way down here.
Are you in league with that devil of a man, the seer?
How do you know?
Are you his puppets? And you notice that the magic kind of gets a little bit bright. Reaction.
No.
How do you know the seer?
How do I know the seer? What a dumb question in which I will answer. I was a leader of our people. The individual in charge of our knowledge in one place. The seer believed that the only way out of this place was with his so-called lantern. But I dared to not believe in religious fanaticism, but rather hardcore evidence. Science is what brought us here, and science, I believed, would see us through. I obtained the very materials from the darkness and made miracle. A way to transport the city back into the mortal plane. So I tested my smaller models, as he sort of points to the side of the room that hasn't exploded. Has these various like dioramas of all these things. Worked spectacularly. But small would not save the city. We needed a full-scale model. My apprentice, along with my various scholars, as he sort of points to Nora, built this device. And it succeeded. It was working. So much so I invited the seer to see our progress, to abandon the foolish notion of a religious messiah. But his visit was more hostile than I anticipated. He sabotaged my wonders and caused this explosion that would rule this city. I have had to sit here and contain this magic, for releasing its full potential would devastate my realm. Everything you see here is the seer's fault and his damn prophecies.
Looking around at the magical debris around this place, at this point, like handful of days that we've been traveling, I've become, and especially after the discoveries at the library, I'm becoming more and more open to the idea of the seer going from more nefarious to a more like outwardly villainous person. But I'm not going to believe everything that this time-stuck individual has to say at face value. So looking at the debris around, am I able to discern any? Does this look like something that naturally could have went wrong, or does it in fact look? Are there any signs of actual sabotage?
Insight check if you'd be so kind. Caedra, are you doing anything or are you just listening?
I feel like this conversation, Anki's very much more involved in it. I don't particularly, unless like certain keywords drop, I'm not interested in the conversation. I will more so keep a vigilant eye on just the general area of Norum, this guy in the chair, and basically trying to be alert enough if anything were to happen, if they want to have the conversation.
Perception check if you'd be so kind for me.
Yes.
Anki, what you get?
I've been rolling a lot of 18s today. That's another 18.
Wow, you're rolling it, buddy, rolling it. He's not wrong. You can tell there is some sort of sabotage going on here, as the explosion itself isn't necessarily... You can see that, especially, it's like you still have like an image of what exactly the explosion looks like because it's frozen in time. You can tell that it isn't necessarily something going wrong. You see there are various wires that are split up, but the explosion is on one half of the room rather than the whole room. You know, if it was a failure in an experiment, the explosion probably would have gone inward out. You know what I mean? So you can see that it's a little bit forced here. He's not lying about
something was purposefully, it looks purposely destabilized.
But also, in the back of your mind, it doesn't make any sense because it's like if the seer's whole shtick is I'm going to help you get out of here, why would he want to wait for you to reach a certain age and then leave if this was a viable option? I think is in the back of your head as well.
You know, we have evidence in favor of sabotage, and then we have every answer gives more questions, so we're stashing those questions away for a later date.
Yeah. Caedra, what you get for perception?
16.
16. I will say that as you're watching whatever, you see in the debris, you can see something shining in the distance as you think you may have found where the key is. The first half of getting out of here.
Yeah.
So you clock its location. Going back to you, Anki, as you consider what's going on. You all that there.
Okay. Is there anything we can do to help?
You can leave. Leave my...
Well, we're trying to leave through, so if we could leave up, that would be great.
What do you mean, leave through?
We need to move to the next level of city. We need to move up.
No one can escape my section. To activate the exit would disrupt my magic. An explosion of unimaginable proportions would level my spire and ruin my city.
Okay. So how do we stabilize you so that when the door opens, that doesn't cause a greater explosion? There has to be a way.
There is no way. I am the smartest being that has ever graced these halls. If I, with my intelligence, cannot figure our way out, what makes you think you can?
I'm gonna look to Caedra. I'm just gonna mouth reveal.
I'm not looking at you.
Poop. Ooh. Oh, this is a very dumb move and it might make him mad at me. Because I'm the smartest mortal alive right now. Most intelligent. I have ushered the cities into an arcane golden age, into a golden age of technology. There is nothing you can throw at me that I cannot figure out or fix.
Who are you?
Do you know the name Eleazar?
I do not.
Well, you might know my title. I know that I can fix this because I have been trained my entire life to fix this. I am the lantern. Let me help you.
What are you, persuasion with disadvantage?
Bro, I'm being so nice.
He doesn't like you though.
I
You are
know, but I'm being nice.
You are the entire reason why his home got fucked.
Yeah.
And
he
the mere
doesn't
mention
like
of
you.
your name.
Well, I was hoping that he'd know my family name and I'd be like, yeah, I'm one of those chill dudes.
Oh man, what's up? It just stabs you up.
Awesome. So, persuasion, we're rocking a -1 to this. Okay, not horrible. 14.
14.
With disadvantage. It was a 17 and a 15 on the die.
Not bad. Not bad. I think you see his magic gets violent. The clear skies that are around begin to become more ravenous. You are the reason my work was demolished.
And I think when I'm starting to... This whole time, there's been so much pressure on me my whole life. And now I've been walking through a place that had "Where were you when people needed you?" The golden tattoos all over my body are starting to like pulse, mimicking my anger that I'm trying to control the whole time. I was a child when you tried this experiment. Either you couldn't figure it out or you were sabotaged. Either way, do you want to live your eternal life here sulking? Let's fix it. We want the same thing.
And how do you suppose you stop an explosion?
Tell me the nature of the magic. Tell me the nature of the experiment. Tell me the nature of everything, and we can reverse engineer a safeguard. If it was fire, we put up ice. If it was ice, we put up stone. We figure it out.
Then you give my secrets, my intelligence to your master.
Well, the seer and we're not talking right now. I got kidnapped, and then look, it's been a few days.
Am I allowed to look around more?
I was gonna need another perception check for you because the thing is happening.
Yes.
So I need a perception check. You'd be so kind.
Thank you.
I'm gonna start walking towards this guy.
Towards the sky?
This guy.
This guy, not this guy. He starts walking upward.
And my tattoos are fully glowing at this point. Look, I've lived my whole life in a fucking tower with everybody telling me what to do, hearing about prophecies and keeping secrets from me. And I leave and people immediately try to kill me and kidnap me. I'm so fucking tired. Put your ego aside for 1 fucking second and let me help you.
Intimidation with advantage. You'd be so kind, buddy.
Oh, thank you.
17 for me.
17. I'm gonna get to you in a hot second. Let me see what he gets. Depending on what he says.
Also, a 17.
Jesus Christ.
Copycat.
How much are you adding to that? I know your strong suit.
-1.
Wow. Good on you, boy. Caedra, you see there are what looks like to be corrupted, but they seem to be jumping from rock to rock. It's strange for you because these things aren't coordinated, but yet they're acting coordinated right now. As you see, they're going for the key.
Oh, okay. Then this might happen simultaneously. But if those things are going for the key, I will take that as my cue to whatever Anki wants to talk about, he can talk about. I would like to Misty Step to the location that I saw the key at.
Fantastic. We hold it. Well, I'll get to you and all that
Yes.
shenanigans in a hot second. So, but as that's going on, Anki, intimidating, letting him know, where do you want this conversation steered towards? Or what is the point that you're really trying to hammer home on with this? That you want the Grand Seer to really understand here?
I wanted to understand that a lot of people have a lot of thoughts about me, and a lot of people have a lot of pre-made opinions about me from some prophecy from before I was even born. And I need him to realize that I am not a creature of myth and legend. I am a person standing in front of him asking him to work together on a solution. I don't want to take his secrets. I don't want to take his credit. I'm not the seer. I don't do that. I just want to fix this.
I think as you say that, Kaidra, you misty stepping. I think you think it's a mistake for a moment, because as you misty step, you see coming out of the same way you entered this sort of zombified, weird-looking individual. As you see, they're unlike any of the other ones, as their skin seems to meld and mesh with metal, and their face was destroyed slowly begins to repair back as you see their eyes purple. You should have took me on that offer. And at this instance, you see Tenny reappear and go straight to Anki. That you're not able to do anything because you just missy step with that there. I'm going to need initiative right quick, if you'd be so kind.
Okay. You will
Light
be able
combat,
to
light
add
combat,
something.
not too full.
12.
Wait. You can add something. Hold up.
Check it on the. If you go to the shard, there's a box at the very top with it.
No, you gain a bonus to initiative to my proficiency, which is.
Oh my god.
+3.
Yeah.
Is that an aura that you have? Because if it is, I
Yes.
might be out of the range of it.
Oh, you can
no.
have it for benefit of
No,
the
no,
doubt.
no.
Because
Okay.
You can have it because it doesn't specify that. It's just me and.
Okay, awesome. So 15 total.
15 for
okay.
you. Oh, damn it. 15 for you.
We love
and
paladins. We love a sexy aura.
Stop it.
Slay!
That's. Wait, where is my? Oh, there is my initiative bonus. An 18.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Believe it or not, you're first up, Kaidra. As you see this going on, you flash over the key, so you can see that as you go through, it's like pieces of a lab. You're able to grab this key as it looks like a normal key, but at sort of like the butt of it or the head of it seems to have the liquid that you saw before in the device you had. So you can see that it's like a key with liquid inside.
Okay. In the device we had? Okay. Well.
Yeah, you notice like it's the same liquid. You remember if you're trying to remember that you had a device you needed to get out, it needs all the keys, but you can see it's a similar liquid. So
okay,
this is the
right.
thing.
Yes, got it. Okay. I'll as I take that in my hand, I will. Which one is better? Yeah.
You got two things. One,
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got to find the exit, so you got to look for that. There, it's somewhere around in these ruins. The exit, so you need to interact with that to get out of here. But also, Hunky's in danger because Tenny's going straight for him.
Yeah. So, and I think I want to do something about that. But thinking of like my usual trick last time, it's not safe. It's not foolproof. I will instead, as I take my key, I will just use Misty Step again to appear right in front of Anki, wherever Tenny is coming, and click to kind of like Ben 10 style activate the shield on my hand, as I basically am a literal shield in front of Anki.
Fantastic. Anki, you look for a hot second like your life is about to be over. As you see that they don't use knives or anything like that, you see from their fingers, it begins to come sharp and elongated with these crystals as they try to reach for you until you see a split second out of the mist. Caedra comes in as the claw goes against the shield as these two are like staggering against each other now. Leaving it up to what? Yep. Anything else?
I'll stay there for a second, but I'll speak and say, just find the exit. Now.
But if we don't stabilize this, it could destroy.
Now.
Whatever wonder. Anki, your turn.
Can I do any sort of arcana check to see if there's any truth to what this man is saying? That if we leave right now without stabilizing this area, it'll decimate this level.
With that, make an Arcana check real quick.
Aki. Oh yeah. That's not great. That's only a 13.
He's right. There's no plan or choice C here. If you leave, the magic gets disrupted, which means gives the explosion enough time to expand and pretty much will devastate. You're guessing maybe half of this place. But then again, he's under the delusion that his city is still fine. He doesn't. I don't think he knows that his city's in ruin.
Okay, perfect. I, because of the bullet time of action, I imagine Caedra is right by me, and you just shouted now. I'm going to non-lethally, like, shove you so that I get out of your grasp. I'm going to say, no, we do not leave without everybody getting out safely. And I'm going to bolt to the guy in the chair. I'm going to the cook chair. I'm pulling out the book that I've been taking meticulous notes in. And I want to straight up, like, I want to jump on this motherfucker. And I'm going to put my book in his face, seeing the meticulous notes that I've taken about the terrain, about the inhabitants, about the corrupted magic. And I just want to say, look at this. Your city is already gone. Help me figure out how not to turn it into all ash and rubble, and then I will leave you.
No need to roll, because you already did roll your intimidation. He takes a look at it. Find your exit. I saw that in real time. Find your exit. I will deal with this matter.
All right, I'm looking
he's
for
helping you. You're lucky because he would have fought you if you did not persuade him, but you managed to do it. So he's on your side. Lucky, lucky.
Yeah, I'm
fantastic.
Start looking for that exit.
Your turn. You're just running towards the stuff there, so that will be your turn. That was your action and it's your movement. It is now Tenny's turn. Yay! Lovely, lovely. They're gonna make 2 attacks against you, Caedra. I got a first one's a nat 20, and then the second one's a 14. Does not hit. All right. So if you be so kind, you're taking. Gotta do math here.
Was I able to recover like the 5 damage that I took?
Yeah.
Rest from hit dice. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna need a Constitution saving throw. Be so kind. You're trying to save against a 14.
It's a 16.
16. Fantastic. So you save. So you're not taking the point. You're not poisoned. You're lucky, but you are taking. This is a lot. So you are taking. Oh no, it's only one of these 17s, not both of them. Fantastic. 17. I gotta do math here. I think we'll say 30 points of piercing damage. As you see, they go through. Even though they got one hand in the shield, you see one of the other hands that you're not able to catch just pierces into your side like a dagger. As they look like they're trying to reach for your organs and trying to take it out, but you're luckily able to push off to the side there.
Yes. 30 or 14?
30. 30.
Okay.
30.
Fantastic. They got a nat 20.
What the fuck?
It's a benefit the doubt to them. With that in mind, I think to help you out here, Anki, he is going to. It goes over to the Grand Observer. He uses Dimension Door to open it and give you straight access to the exit rather than having you search for the damn thing.
Let's go.
So with that Dimension Door open, Archmage, you would have fucked you up if you did not have on the side. For the rest, I think the siblings and Norum are going to follow Anki's suit and go through the Dimension Door there. With that, Caedra, top of the round, back up to you.
I'm just directing.
As I have watched basically with Undead I'll you previously said that there were like undead around.
Yeah,
do
they're
we
like they're not in range yet. If you stay here longer, they might be. So they're like, it seems that while it seems impossible, it looks like Tenny's controlling these
Sure.
bastards. So that's what it looks like it's going on here.
Yes. Okay. Sure. Catching in the side of my gaze that Anki is basically going through this portal with all of the others following suit. I at least clock, okay, I don't need to keep him safe. So my priority is to dislodge from this person. I would like to first try and basically, as I, with the other hand that's not holding my shield, as I grasp my mace and I hold it a little tighter, I would like to basically activate Mace of Terror, and I would like to use a charge to release a wave of terror to any creature of my choice, or each creature within my choice, in a 30-foot radius. Seeing as the others aren't a problem yet, I won't use it on them. And seeing as the others aren't hostile yet, I also won't use it on anyone except for Tenny. I would like for him to do a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw or become frightened.
Gotcha. Got 16, so they
Yes.
they just make it, so they succeed.
Okay.
But for just benefit of the doubt, just because of the radius of it, the other creatures, do you get a 5? So they are going to not. They're not going to really be participating in this fight. You at least provided enough that it's just Tenny that you have to worry about in this instance.
Okay, perfect. Then with that out of the way, for sake of being fast, I don't know what I would possibly be able to. I guess I could still attack him with a bonus action. So with
you can, or you could just start running towards the dimension door. So it's up to you.
Okay, I will try to do that for sake of swiftness here.
Swiftness, sorry. I think push them off for a hot second. They are going to take was it opportunity of attack because you're kind of like disengaging here.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing that, you still want to go?
Yeah, sure.
All right, dope. They're going to roll an attack. Sorry. It's going to be it's going to be 20, not a nat 20, but just a 20 to hit.
Yeah.
Another con saving throw from you. Be so kind.
16.
16. You're getting lucky here. You take 14 points of piercing damage as you see they manage to just swipe you in the back. Kind of go, where you running? As they're going to probably try to pursue you after. But with that, you head towards the dimension door. Anki, you see that everybody's made it through. It's your turn. You see Kaitra's following suit, and that the Grand Observer is helping you. So what are you doing in this instant?
All right, I love that. I love that for us. I really do. I really do. Cannons, you can see, force damage. Okay. Stunned. Okay. Running up to the dimension door, is there any way that I could activate my hammer and use either like the shockwave or the cannon, or just use my options are the shockwave, the cannon, but the cannon is just damage, so I don't think I'd go for that. Or maybe even the thunder wave spell, just because I want to just slow down the person behind us so that I can then get in the dimension door as the second Caedra does.
Gotcha. You can just cast that off, and I can make a save. It's whatever you want to use. They're just going to be safe.
Awesome.
Is there? I would love to know is there a thought in Anki's head of using it so Caedra also can't follow and of them leaving?
No. It's always all the calculations in Anki's head are how do I do an AoE and not affect my friend?
It's very much a video game of like if I just put it's just on the outskirt, it's hurting them, but they're
It's
not
like,
highlighted.
oh, damn.
Yeah, just
I can get 3 squares.
you're trying not to highlight Caedra. It's so bad. Yeah.
Straight up, you see me go at a 45-degree angle.
Pull the projector.
I'm aiming right so that it gets, so that it gets them and it doesn't get you.
All right. What am I gonna make a save? Wiz or Dex?
Whiz like pee.
Tell me what to say, boy.
It's a con save actually. It is a DC 16 Constitution save.
Jesus, they were right on the cusp of 15. Got a 3, so 5 in total. So they fail.
Yeah. They're gonna take 2. They're gonna take 3d8 damage. Oh no, damage dice. Huzzah! That was bad. They're gonna take 14 damage, and they're just gonna get pushed back 10 feet. And I'm hoping that that's enough. And as they're pushed back, I'm just gonna put half my body in the dimension door and just hold out a hand for Caedra.
Fantastic. With that, you push them back as you see Tenny gets launched into so far back in that even at a full dash, they're not able to catch up. So pretty much they're going to be using their turn there as it's their next turn to try to dash, try to catch up. At this instance, yeah, he's going to do that. You see that the observer sees what's going on, sees really that this person will not stop, and decides to make a decision for you. As you see, he focuses his concentration off of his staff towards a wall of force magic that puts a wall up. But with that, you start to see time is resuming as the explosion goes off. With that, goes up to you, Caedra. Going through the dimension door, or are you pulling homeboy by the scruff as well? As you see this explosion is going to go off.
Who exactly do we mean by homeboy here?
Anki, because he's waiting. He's halfway through.
Offended. I thought we were homies.
Homeboy. We are not homies.
Absolutely. I see no reason to get through this without him being with me.
Lovely. With that, Anki, before you're able to react, you seeing this in this moment, as you see this individual look you in the eyes, he gives a sort of astute face, like he's ready for this, but looks you in the eyes, or just like, kind of don't fuck this up. How does Anki feel as you, not necessarily fail in this instance, but you're not able to help in the way you wanted to?
I've been angry since we got in here and people started running their mouths, and I think there's a level of indignation when someone who you didn't know, you but had preconceived notions about you, then looks at you and places even more expectations and more guilt on you. And as I'm grabbing Caedra and we're falling through the dimension door, I am screaming louder than you've ever heard, and my tattoos are glowing so much that they may as well be on fire. Because how fucking dare you put more expectation on me when not 20 minutes ago you wanted me dead? How dare you think that you know who I am and speak on me in such a way when I don't even know who I am, so sit down, you don't know me. And it's just pure unbridled rage as we're going through the dimension door.
Grabbing him by the scruff, the two of you go into the dimension door. And almost in a split second, as you drag him through, Caedra, the key in your hand activates. And you see the portal, which is very much looks like this sort of stone archway, turns on. And in the split second, as you're like leading out, you guys immediately in that same instance enter through. The others enter through as well. And on the other end, you see just this large explosion as whatever happened that day continues. And the pieces of debris hit you guys one by one. Unconscious once more. And as you kind of fade away a bit, you no longer feel cold. It's quite the opposite, really. As the heat is hot and a little bit unbearable, but I think, Caedra, it's a bit of concern for you. Because you know where you are. You're in the Undersea section. The place ravaged by war. The place you called home for quite some time. But also the place where a lot of people want you dead. And I think that is where we shall end it for today. Yay! The face. You look like you're gonna cry. With that, everyone, thank you for joining us for this wonderful episode of Ascension. With that in mind, before we head out, we're going to do plugs in reverse order here. So starting off with you, Apollo. Who would you play here today, and where can people find you on the interwebs?
Hello, I didn't see you come in. My name is Apollo. You can find me on the internet at TallNerdApollo. I do cosplay, I do voice acting, I do TTRPGs. I haven't done much of anything in a while because I've been tired. That might continue. However, if you go to @Madaloon's channel in the next 15 minutes, I'll be playing a different character. And we're going to go from sad boy who just developed anger issues to evil Dilf who should maybe think about being a good father, or at the very least, try experiencing guilt. Thank you.
Thank you. Lovely. Syrinx, who did you play, and where can people find you in the big wow?
Hi, I saw you there all the time. I've been here since the beginning as well. Hi, I'm Syrinx. I'm on the internet everywhere. I would plug myself, but also I'm kind of a fan of DILFs. So I will instead plug the channel where Apollo will be playing at. Apollo, what's the name again?
Over at Madaloon's channel.
There you go. So please, I'd love to see more attention to DILFs. See you next time.
Lovely, lovely. And last but not least, me. Hello. I have been your GM for these preceding evenings. With that in mind, we have all this lovely stuff going on. Hopefully, Ascension will be into the new year. So we'll keep you up on when those episodes are coming out. In terms of what we have going on, we did a holiday special last week. So if you want to watch something, be a little bit more festive before the year's out, you can watch it on the YouTube there and all that good stuff. But it's the end of the year. So we got a lot of more stuff cooking in the oven. So when we're ready to show that and release that to the world, you can see all that stuff on Taíno Tales socials and all that stuff there. But beyond that, that's it from us here. So thank you for tuning in, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of the year and can't wait to see you in 2026. Till then, bye-bye.